Hello, in this episode we are going to have some fun. We're going to create a text-to-speech kind of AI. So let's take a look, let's try it. So if I click and I can say different words and it's going to recognize and it's going to respond to me. So how's the weather like?
Why do you care? You never leave the house anyways.
All right, that's one. Let's ask how it's doing. So how are you doing?
I'm good, you little piece of shit.
How are you doing today?
This is what you do, when you could be doing serious work and get your life together, and create something actually useful, but no, you lost direction of who you truly are and what you mean for the world. I hate you.
Okay, so let's code this thing out. Okay, let's make this really fast because it's actually not that difficult. So all we need is just a index.html and a JavaScript file, and that should be enough. So let's pop open a HTML page, get this open, pop it up here, and all I want to do is just add a button, and when we click it, we can talk, and it's going to recognize it. So I'm just going to add a class to this of talk, all right, and it's going to say talk. Wow. All right. And let's also output our text when we speak. So for that, I'm just going to add a h3 or something. And this is going to have a class of content. And this is going to say, well, it's not going to say anything because, yeah, it should be default nothing. I'm going to create an I'm going to create an app.js. Delete this, rename app.js. Hit enter. We're gonna tie this up together down here, script source app.js, and that's it. Okay, we can close our HTML and we can jump into our JavaScript, everybody. Okay, so the first thing I wanna do is I wanna select the button and the content. So I'm gonna create a const. This is gonna say button is document.query selector, and it's gonna be the talk, all right? So we have the button in our JavaScript. The second one is going to be the content, which is going to be the same thing, but we're going to just add content here. Okay, perfect. How can we initiate our speech recognition now? And let me quickly close up the other one and just open this one up. So I'm going to close this and I'm going to open up here index.html. I'm going to right click and open with live server. If you don't have that, you can get that extension of the intranets. So let's drag this in here. This is what we have. We just have a button that says talk. Okay. All right, but what do we do now? Well, all we have to do is add the speech recognition. Now you can add a try-catch block to this because not all browsers support this like this, all right? And you can add the code here to execute. And if it doesn't work, then you can catch it in the error and you can display a message to say, hey, stop using Internet Explorer because we're in 2019, so grow up. Okay, so, but for now, I'm using Chrome, so I'm just gonna add it like this. And the thing you have to do is just create a const speech recognition, and set that equal to window, because that's the global object in JavaScript. And usually you have those APIs on top of that window object. So you can check it like this. You just write window dot, and this one's called speech recognition, like so. Hopefully that's written correctly. And or we can do window dot WebKit. Oh my goodness, speech recognition, like so. Okay, so it's going to select either one that's available in our browsers. And after we do that, we're going to create a const recognition like so and set that equal to new and this variable that we created, speech recognition, and initiate that function. All right, that's it. Now what we can do is we can listen to certain events. So when we click on the button, we can start that recognition. When we stop talking, we can stop the process and things of that sort. So the first one I'm going to do is recognition. All right, so this is all we're going to use, recognition.onStart, which means, hey, when the voice gets activated, this is going to run. And all this is just a function. You can do arrow function, but we are a bit old school today. And here I can just console log something like voice is activated. You can speak to microphone. All right, hit save. All right, so this in theory should execute when the voice is being listened to. Okay, and we can also listen to something that's very important called on speech end. And that's all it basically does. When we stop talking, this is gonna execute here. Okay, so that's another one we can use, but I'm not gonna use this one for now. The one that we're actually gonna use is recognition.onResults. So when we actually stop talking and we have the result of the string, then this gets executed. So we can run a function here and we have an event in here. And this event basically holds a string of the thing that we're talking about, okay? So here we have access to whatever we say. And for this one, I'm just gonna console log event for now, okay? And then we are gonna run this recognition thing whenever we click on a button. So to do that, all we have to do is say button. So we're gonna add the listener to the button. All we have to do is say button.add event listener. And when we click, we can just run an arrow function. I should have done that up here as well, but whatever. We can just run recognition.start. All right, so that's gonna run this. All right, let's take a look if this works. So go back in your browser, press F12, and we should have nothing here. But when we click talk, it's gonna say voice is activated. And take a look up there, we have that little red dot. And when we stop talking, it should say, look at that, speech recognition event. So that actually runs the other one, this one, the onResult. Okay, it's gonna console log the event. So every time we stop talking, that's gonna execute. So that's cool, everything's working. And in here, if you take a look, we have something called current target. And with this one, we can access our actual text. And I believe the text is on, let me see, event results, here 0, and we have 0, and there it is, transcript right there. That's what we have. So let's try this again. How are you on this beautiful morning? Okay, there we go. Let's take a look. We go to results, 0, pop this open, 0. See, there we go. We have the message popped in there. Now to access this a bit easier, we can use something called a result index. So it should be somewhere around here. I cannot find it. Result index, there we go, that's 0. So we can just kind of access it that way. So let's go back to our code and just add that. All we have to do is say const current text or something. We can set this equal to event.resultIndex. Result index, which is 0, okay? And to access that, so I'm gonna create a const transcript. All right, so the actual text that we're talking about is gonna be on event.results, like so. And this is an array that I'm gonna add that current, which is 0, and then 0 again, because it's 2 levels deep, and then we say transcript. All right, and that should give us the message, console log, transcript, or you know what? Let's try something else. We can access that content, that h3 that we added. So we can say content.textContent, all right, to access the actual text of the h3, and we can set that equal to our transcript. Boom, delete this. All right, where's that cat meme with the delete this? All right, I want to lick a lollipop. Hey, take a look. We have I want to lick a lollipop, and that's in a very non-sexual way. So there we go. That's what we have. Now all we have to do is create a speech synthesis, so for JavaScript to actually talk back to us. And the way we do that is we can use something called the speech synthesis uterance. Uterance. All right. Don't ask me what that means, but it works. So all we have to do is go down here. I'm going to just create a function called read out loud. All right. And we can set that this is going to take a message because we're going to pass down that transcript in this. Okay, so that's all we have to do, just pass this transcript in this message. And in here, all we have to do is say const speech and set that equal to new speech synthesis uterance. There we go. That's what we need. Perfect. All right, you can also check if this is available in the browser at the top. So there's no point of running this if the browser doesn't have this available. Okay, so that's what we need. And now all we have to do is define a few small things. So we have the speech and we have a few methods accessible on this one. We can say speech dot volume. We can set that to 1, all right, 0 being nothing, 0.5 being halfway through, 1 being the loudest. Speech, we also have access to, look, a lot of different things here. We have rate, we can set that to 1, that's going to be just how fast she speaks. If you put it to 1, it's going to be Eminem. If you put it to 0.2, it's going to be me. We can also change the pitch if we want. You can just experiment with this. I'm going to set all of these to 1, but probably the most important one is going to be speech.text, and this is the actual thing that she says back to us. So for now, I can just set this back to message, but our message is nothing yet. So here on the end result, what we can actually do is we can call this function. So we can say read out loud, and we can pass in that message, which is in this case the transcript. And that's it. Let's give this a shot. How are you doing today? All right, let's see. She's not talking. Why are you not talking? Let's see if I didn't mess anything up. All right, so we initiated the object here, but what we have to actually do is we need to call this and to listen to it. So I'm going to say window.speech synthesis, like so, .speak. All right, and then I give back the speech in here, and now it should work, I believe. Hopefully. I don't know. Anything can happen here. How are you doing today?
How are you doing today?
There we go. She's speaking, so that's good. Hopefully that picked up on the microphone. Let's try again. Is my channel dying?
Is my channel guide?
Okay, close enough, but hey, you get the point. All right, and for the last step, all I did is I had some fun. I just went up here and created basically, now this is like super bad, but I'm gonna show you what I did. I just created a few arrays with different speeches that it recognizes. So there's probably a ton of better ways to do this, but this was very simple. So I just created like greetings, so it recognizes greetings messages. And I said, I'm good, you little... All right, let me not swear. I'm good, you little piece of love. All right, and then I said, doing good, homeboy. And then let's do another one, leave me alone. Okay, so I created this greetings and I created one with the weather as well. So weather, and set this equal to, and I said weather is fine and you need a tan. Okay, so like 2 of these, that's fine. And down here, what I did, so in this result, actually not in the result, down here in the reading out loud, so rather than setting it to the message, what I did was I went up here and I just added an if statement. I just did, hey, if the message that I'm getting back includes a specific word, so like, let's see, like how are you or how are you, all right? So if it recognizes that in my message, I can just change this greetings. So I'll get this greetings array from up here like that, and I'll just pick out a random message from this. So out of all of these 3. Now to pick out a random one, all I did was I added a math.random in here, and I multiplied this by greetings.length, so the length of the array, length, like so. Now this is going to be give me back like 1.5 point whatever, so we have to floor this, so it gives me back either 0, 1, 2. So we can take everything in here, just cut it out, and we can just math.floor this and add that back in here. Does this sound complicated? Because I have no idea what I'm doing anymore. Okay, and at the end we can just say speech.text equals to, and I'll just add this in a variable const, let's say final text, okay? Set that equal to this, and that's giving me an error because, never mind, okay, final text, and that's it. All right, so now if it recognizes that I said, how are you, this should run in here, all right? And I'm gonna remove this one, or you can just add a default, I don't know, what you said or something, and you can place this on top here because you want this to run before, because if we change it, we can change it again. Okay, so there we go. And let's give this a shot. And we can also, yeah, let's just try. So if I say like, I love to dance.
I don't know what you said.
All right, so that's good. But if we say something with how are you? How are you doing today?
I'm good, you little piece of love.
There we go. So it works. And all I did was pretty much the same thing here, just with the weather, and that's it. So there we go. We can have a bit of fun with some voice recognition in JavaScript. So that's it. Thank you very much again for watching. Hope you enjoyed this one. So it's kind of stupid, but also fun to make. I want you to experiment with this because you can do a lot of different things. You can also manipulate different parts of your website. Maybe you can say, hey, change the background color of my website, and you can do that. Or say, hey, dark mode, and it goes dark. Oh, that's a good idea. Try that. But yeah, that's it. Thank you again so much for being here. And yeah, drop a sub, do the notification, you know, all the good stuff. And I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.